What's the last time that you told yourself you'd start something, a practice, a new habit, a difficult conversation, a creative project? The right time is almost never the real issue. The real issue is the voice.
Welcome to a special summer series edition of Magic in the Moment, Mindfulness in Real Time with Clayton Platt. In this limited edition series, Clayton will be going through some of the core concepts of his new book, Magic in the Moment, Mindfulness in Real Time. This special summer series is brought to you by Meditation for Leadership.
Leadership happens in that space before the decision. That's the work of Meditation for Leadership, helping you pause under pressure, notice what's really happening, and choose how you respond instead of reacting. The foundation of effective leadership and superior employee performance. Ready to create that space? Visit meditationforleadership.org. Welcome back to Magic in the Moment. If you're new here, I'm so glad you found your way in. And if you've been around for a while, thank you, genuinely. So I'm going to do something a little different this summer. I've been writing this book, Magic in the Moment, Mindfulness in Real Time, same title as this podcast. And I've been doing this for a long time. Actually, it's been years, really. And it's finally out in the world. So what I want to do over these next several weeks is to spend some time with you going deeper into the ideas that are at the heart of a number of the chapters. So I'm not going to be reading the book word for word. I'm going to leave that to you. But using the chapters as a starting point for the kinds of conversations that we have here. Personal, honest, practical. What does this actually look like in real life? So today, we're going to start, logically enough, with chapter 1, which is called, fittingly, Start Where You Are. And I want to ask you something right out of the gate. What's the last time that you told yourself you'd start something, a practice, a new habit, a difficult conversation, a creative project, once things just settled down a little? Once you felt a little more ready? Yeah. Well, that's where we're starting today. I'm going to tell you something that I'm actually a little embarrassed about, and admitting this as a mindfulness teacher isn't so easy. I am a world-class procrastinator when it comes to beginning things. I will wait for just the right time, the right conditions, the right alignment of the planets. And what I've come to understand after a lot of sitting on a cushion and a lot of very honest self-examination is that the right time is almost never the real issue. The real issue is the voice. You probably know the one I'm talking about. It shows up whenever you're about to do something that matters. It says, in whatever flavor is most effective for you personally, you're not ready. You're going to embarrass yourself. What if this doesn't work? Here's what I want to offer you today. And it's something I explore in great depth in the chapter. Those voices are real, but they're not true. Real, meaning they show up. They feel urgent. They have texture and volume, and sometimes they sound extremely reasonable. But not true, meaning they're not an accurate report of your actual capacity or the actual risk you're taking or the actual outcome waiting for you on the other side. The mind's job is to protect you, and sometimes it's very bad at knowing when you actually need protecting. One of the things I love most about a sitting meditation practice is what it teaches you about beginning. Now, I'm going to remind you, I like to sit in meditation, and what I'm writing about and what I'm talking about here doesn't necessitate sitting on a cushion. But that being said, what I like to do is sit in meditation, and I happen to have a cushion. Every time you sit, every single time, I guarantee this, your mind will wander. And that's not a sign that you're bad at meditating. That's just what minds do. They're designed to think, to plan, to replay, to anticipate. You close your eyes, you settle into your breath, and 45 seconds later, you're composing an email. And the practice, the whole practice in some ways, is what happens next. You notice that you've wandered. And without making yourself wrong, without scoring yourself or replaying the distraction or judging how long you were gone, you just come back to the breath, to the body, to this moment right here. And there's no penalty, no starting over from zero. Just, I wandered and I'm back. And that's it. That's the whole thing. And what I found over 25 years of practice, and I write about this in this first chapter, is that this isn't just a technique for sitting on a cushion, right? If so, it wouldn't be mindfulness in real time necessarily. This is a way of being in your life. And there are things in your life right now that you've wandered away from: projects, relationships, practices, intentions, whatever. Things that you meant to keep up with and you didn't. Things that you want to start and haven't. And the same invitation that lives in the breath is available to you right now in those places. You can always begin again. In the book, I get into the neuroscience of why we get stuck. And there's some really fascinating research there that I think will genuinely surprise you and maybe give you some compassion for yourself. I also share some specific practices that have helped me and a few stories about my own stumbling. Oh, yeah. Very imperfect attempts to actually live this. But the core of what I want you to take from this conversation today is the simplest possible version. The moment is always here. The breath is always here. You can always come back. I think we have a complicated relationship with struggle in this culture. We're either trying to avoid it entirely, optimize it away, root around it, or we're romanticizing it, wearing our suffering like some badge of honor. And what mindfulness practice has taught me is the middle path. There's something in between. There's a phrase I use a lot, and it shows up in the book, and it's this: the obstacle is the path. So not that struggle is inherently good, though I will make a case that it's not bad. And it's not that we should seek out difficulty for its own sake, but that the things that are hard, the places where we get stuck, the moments when we can't seem to begin, those aren't proof that something is wrong. They're usually where the most important learning is. The mythologist Joseph Campbell wrote beautifully about what he called the hero's journey. And it's this pattern of departure, trial, and return. It shows up in stories across every culture and every century. And one of the things he understood is that we don't get to the good place in a straight line. We set out, we get lost, we go through some version of darkness, and when we come home again, we're different, wiser, changed by what we went through. And I don't think of that as simply a story structure. I think it's true. So what does starting where you are actually look like for you right now? Not as a concept, not in principle, but right now, today, in your actual life. Is there something you've been circling, something you've been telling yourself you'll begin when the time is right? I'd like to invite you into something for just a moment. Wherever you are now, right now, walking, driving, doing the dishes, sitting, I'd like you to just take one conscious breath with me. And don't close your eyes if you're driving, but in through the nose and a slow exhale out. Let's do that again. Breathing in through the nose and long exhale out through the mouth. Good. Now I want you to notice, just notice, no judgment, what's here. Not what should be here or what you wish were here, but what's actually here. What's your energy right now? What does your body feel like? Where is there ease, comfort, or where is there tension? And now gently, what's the thing you've been putting off? What's the thing you've told yourself you'll get to when the time is right? That thing is your starting line, not someday, right here. You don't have to solve it right now. You don't have to make some great, grandiose, big, dramatic step. You just have to acknowledge it, to say, I see you. I haven't forgotten you. And maybe, just maybe today is the day I take one small step. And that's exactly what this practice asks of us. It's not perfection. It's just one step, just this moment. Everything I've been touching on today lives inside chapter 1 of Magic in the Moment. And honestly, the chapter goes places that I think will surprise you. There are stories in there that I've never quite told like this before. And there's science that reframes the whole question of why we wait. And there's an ending that I'm going to let you find for yourself because I think it's worth it. The book is available now wherever you get your books. We'll put links in the show notes. And we'll be back next week with episode 2. And there we're going to spend some time with a chapter called 2 Ears, 1 Mouth, which not surprisingly is all about mindful communication and the art of actually listening, and not just other people, but to yourself. So until then, thank you so much for being here, for showing up in whatever way that looked like for you. The magic is already here. Let's begin. Hey, thanks for listening. I want to give a big shout out to John Gehring of Story Trust Media for his expert editing and wonderful production guidance. I also am deeply grateful for the ongoing support I receive from Meditation for Leadership and their sponsorship. So that's all for now. Until next time, this is Clayton Platt saying, watch for those moments of magic when mindfulness shows up in real time in your life.